Hello, I'm Deb Calvert. Today I would like to tell you about 5 things that buyers told us in the research we did for the new book, Stop Selling and Start Leading. We surveyed 530 B2B buyers and we asked them about the behaviors of sellers that caused them to want to meet with that seller and caused them to be more likely to buy from that seller. There were some surprises in the research. But these 5 behaviors, I think they're noteworthy. First of all, buyers told us that they want to be entrusted with information. They don't want sellers to withhold information. I can vouch for this personally. As a buyer, I was recently looking to upgrade a certain software package that I use for business. I had a friend who had already upgraded, and she liked certain things about the software. I had some questions about those features. But my seller wasn't telling me about those features. I wasn't sure why, so I just point blank asked, and he said to me, "Well, I didn't think that would really be good for you." And I was offended because I already knew about those things. I had already decided for myself that I thought those would be of value, and I thought it was pretty presumptuous on his part not to at least give me the information and let me work it out for myself. The second thing that buyers want from sellers is to be heard and taken seriously when they have input. Now, you can think for yourself whatever you want to about this next example, but I have felt this too as a buyer. The last time I bought a car, I wanted a blue car. I didn't want any other car, just a blue car. I had certain makes and models in mind, but the deciding factor was going to be that it was blue. And I was very straightforward with the salesperson. He told me there were no blue cars on the lot. And I said, well, then we'll have to order one because I'm not going to buy a car unless it's blue. Apparently, that was going to be a little too much work for him because he made a fatal mistake. He turned to my husband and said, "We really need to go ahead and talk about one of these other colors." My input was completely dismissed. That doesn't work with today's buyers. The third thing buyers want is to feel important and ennobled. In that example, when the seller completely dismissed me, no matter what he thought about my personal preferences, it was wrong for him to disregard my input, to make me feel unworthy of his attention, and to act as if I just didn't have the sense to make my own decisions. Fourth, buyers want to feel like they have been treated with respect and not taken for granted. This applies to people who have been your long-term customers too. I heard from a lot of buyers who said they feel like it's all about the chase. Once they've signed the contract or once they've been doing business with you for a long time, they just don't get the same attention that they used to. It feels like the company or the seller has moved on to try to sell more new customers, and they're taking the old ones for granted. Finally, buyers want to feel like a seller has their back in the event of any sort of mishap. They want to hear about it from you first. They want to know that you're doing whatever it takes inside your own organization to make it right. They don't want to hear that you're blaming someone else or that you are having some kind of frustration with the slowest processes in your organization. They just want your assurances and your perseverance so that it gets fixed. They want to know that you have their back. Well, these are just 5 of the sorts of things that buyers told us about. The book, Stop Selling and Start Leading, is packed with all sorts of other tips and ideas, things that as a seller, it's important that you know about your buyers. Be sure and pick up your copy.